Okay, we've got a lot to do today in this video. Gotta get the Lady Luck Keyblade and get all the Dalmatians back to their owners, or their parents, rather. Yeah, where are the owners anyway? Yeah. Also gonna do End of the World up until the final boss, and then do all the optional bosses and show off the Ansem reports. So a whole lot to do. Yeah, I'm not sure why they decided to make Lady Luck all the way out here, needing a White Trinity, because it's not even a very good Keyblade. I mean, it has decent MP, but its strength is horrible. You know, for this stage of the game. Yeah, I guess I already got the prize from doing that. I don't remember if I did it on screen or not. I think I might have. That was so long ago. Like 10 videos ago. Seems like it was years ago. Okay, but really though. So now we could go to Traverse Town and drop off all the Dalmatians. One thing I forgot to mention in terms of spells. I mentioned how you can get a Xehanort reports by talking to Aerith in Hollow Bastion. If you talk to her like another 3 or 4 times, she'll give you another cure upgrade, which I think at that point in the game could only be Curaga, but I actually kind of forgot to do that until the unknown boss battle. But by that point I was just using items of cure spells. So yeah, that's a thing you gotta do if you want all the Aga spells, which I've never really needed much use for. So there we go. Yeah, I think that's all the little gummy ship types he'll give us, as far as I know. Not that I ever use them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Like, I actually tried to use them, but the game wouldn't let me for some reason. I didn't really get it, but there's a Sniper Wild, one of the special Heartless of the game. Yeah, they can't see you unless you get really close. Then they'll summon like a whole bunch of other Sniper Wilds, and they'll all like attack you with like undodgeable, unblockable attacks. It's annoying. Oh man, look at all the puppies. So how does Goofy feel about these domesticated dogs anyway? You know what? I don't want to know. Also, are the Dalmatians from this world, or are they from another world? But they, came to Traverse Town because it fell to darkness. Because, I mean, depending on the answer, it would rule out if we ever got a 101 Dalmatian world, but I kind of doubt we'd ever get one anyway, so it just wouldn't really work out that well. Though I kind of had the idea of, like, Cruella de Vil, like, driving around in, like, a Heartless car. Like a big old, like, just a huge tank of a car. She just, like, recklessly, like, drives around trying to ram into Sora. Yeah, I thought it would be kind of neat. Let's see, where is it? There we go. Aeroga. And I got the complete, oh man, the complete gummy collection. Oh man, I am at the edge of my seat. Attack boost. Anywho. Now I can go to the End of the World, which isn't a very interesting world. Like 90% of it is just fighting Heartless and more Heartless. Like there's like no characters to talk to, not really any puzzles to figure out, nothing really to. It's just wave after wave of Heartless. Which, I mean, if you have fun with that, more power to you. But I need a little bit more than that, especially because there's only like 5 different kinds of Heartless in that world. Yeah, and there it is. The End of the World. Alright. This shouldn't be too bad. Looks a little bit empty. Very simple title screen. I guess that makes sense considering how barren it is. But I thought they were supposed to be in the realm of darkness.
We beat Ansem, right? You betcha. But if we do beat him, and all these worlds become restored and disconnected, what what's gonna happen to this place?
Well, who cares?
And to us.
Okay, that's the more important question.
This is a heartless world, so maybe it'll just disappear.
Wow, Goofy, you said something intelligent.
Even if this place goes poof, our hearts ain't going nowhere.
Aw.
I'm sure we'll find our pals again. Yep, I just know that we will.
Man, it's nice to see that even though he's beating up, you know, darkness demons with a shield, he's still Goofy underneath. It's nice to see that.
I'll return this.
Like, that's one thing I do like about this series is like the wholesome characters remain wholesome. Like, yeah, he's actually kind of a badass that fights, you know, demons from the darkness within people's hearts, but he's still Goofy. You know, he still says stupid things, but he's also got a heart of gold, you know? I like that. And then there's the invisible Heartless. They're a bit of a pain because they can, well, go kind of invisible in a sort. Though, yeah, like there. What he was doing to Goofy there. You can't hurt them while they're doing that, as far as I'm aware. I never figured out any way to hurt them while they do that. So I think you just gotta kind of deal with it. And they go invincible before they do it, which is annoying. Because you can't stop it. You just gotta let it happen. Yeah. So that this whole first section of the end of the world is just a whole bunch of dark orbs coming at you. And chests too. And you just fight again. You just fight a whole bunch of Heartless. That's the entirety of this world. You just fight Heartless. And I decided to kind of skip through because you're not witnessing anything interesting. Again, just Heartless. There's no one to talk to. There's nothing really to see. I kind of wish we could see like chunks of worlds. You know, like the Cinderella world or the. Well, I know like this is before we have Dwarf Woodlands or the Enchanted Dominion and that stuff. I know it was before that, but I don't know. Couldn't they have like the ruins of a castle or something? Instead, it's just a whole bunch of rocks. It's not very interesting to look at. And this place just reeks of Final Fantasy. Way more than the end of the world does, that's for sure. Now, this looks like something lifted straight out of Final Fantasy, which I suppose is rather appropriate. Yeah, there are invisible walls everywhere here. It is so obnoxious. I actually get stuck on one for like 2 minutes because I just couldn't. I hate invisible walls. Or like, I mean, if they're like at the border of a world, I can understand, like in like Super Mario 64 or something. But like in this case, it's just so annoying because they're invisible walls, so you can't really tell which way is appropriate. You can kind of get turned around because everything looks the same. It's awful. I hate it. I got so annoyed I just like skipped getting the last two treasure chests because they just weren't worth the effort. There probably wasn't anything interesting in them anyway. I mean, it's the end of the game. Like, what possible use could they get for me? There we go. And God, there's so many behemoths. You gotta fight like another 2 or 3 of these guys. It's kind of annoying. Because it's just the same fight every single time, you know? Yeah, and I kind of realized during this game, this little playthrough here, that they actually have a pretty good weakness against gravity. So that's a tactic you can use. Oh, hello. Now where the hell are we? I saw a treasure chest. I'm gonna get it. Oh, that Ansem feller. It's so weird to see someone refer to him as that. Ah, that Ansem feller. Or, of course, as we know, it's actually Xehanort's Heartless. As we know now, of course. Yeah, but Ansem Seeker of Darkness, that's just too long of a goddamn name. Xehanort's Heartless is slightly less awful, I have to say. Yeah, I think that this is called like the World Terminal, I think. Basically, you don't even have to go into these places. But you can, and kind of just travel to each world you've been to and fight a couple of Heartless from there. Again, nothing really that interesting. I mean, you get to revisit all the, places you've been to, but that's not exactly, I don't know, interesting. And you can get some synthesis materials from the chests, but nothing too rare or spectacular. Yeah, I accidentally missed the chest here, so I actually do go back for it. But again, like I'm pretty sure every single chest in this little terminal of worlds gives you just a synthesis item. I'm pretty sure. I think there might be like 1 or 2 exceptions, but it's really not too important. Yeah, this is kind of the problem with the end of the world. There's really not much to talk about. It's just, oh, you remember these worlds? Well, you can fight in them again and fight some of the Heartless from them. Except for Olympus Coliseum, which doesn't even actually have any unique Heartless now that I think about it. I mean, the closest thing is you can fight, like, guard armor, feet, and hands. That's, like, the closest thing to a unique Heartless that world has. But even then, that's not very unique. Ah, well. We'll just have to wait for Kingdom Hearts 2. For unique Olympus Coliseum Heartless. For those who are, losing sleep at night because, the Olympus Coliseum doesn't have any Heartless to call its own. Oh, underwater combat. I am not gonna miss you. Ugh. But yeah, like this is like one of the few times where I ever like use magic like repeatedly because underwater combat is just so awful that I'd rather just use magic to get rid of the enemies instead. Hey, it's Oogie Boogie's room. Where is that guy? Oh yeah, I killed him. Never mind. Ah, we'll see him in Kingdom Hearts 2. And Chain of Memories, sort of. Alright, and yeah, there's like only like 2 or 3 Heartless in this entire like little section. It's kind of odd. Ah well. There. Ah yeah, there we go. There is a shield for Goofy. I could have sworn there was a staff for Donald, but I just could not find it. But it's not too important anyway, cause yeah, like Donald, Goofy, like they don't really matter too much in terms of equipment. Like they're not powerful enough to like really matter in that kind of respect. Like that's why I never got too anal about what kind of equipment I gave them because they're not very useful to begin with. Oh, here we go. We're gonna get a title drop here. Let's see, where is it? Hey, Kingdom Hearts! Hey, yeah, the title drop for this game comes in a text box. Instead, well, technically, I guess the title does appear at the start, but that doesn't count. But I don't think any character has actually uttered the words Kingdom Hearts yet. I don't think. I feel like I would have noticed if they did. Let's see, what's in here again? Ah, elixir. Kind of a lame last prize, but there we go. Yeah, I don't know what these portals are. They don't seem to have any function. And neither does this giant Heartless emblem. I always forget that they don't really do anything. Cause like I feel like they should, but they just kind of don't. That's the thing. Ah well, time to get out of here. Time to skedaddle. Oh, now this boss fight coming up is actually pretty cool. I did not see, like, no one saw this coming. It actually is pretty neat. It's like, aside from the final boss, it's easily the highlight of this world. Oh, that music sounds, oh man, it's Chernabog. Now the interesting thing about this was, he was supposed to be the, like, final antagonist of the series. Or of the game. He was supposed to be the final boss, the source of all Heartless. Because he's essentially just Satan, He's basically just a giant Satan that's stuck in a mountain. So he was supposed to be the ruler of all Heartless. I'm not really sure how I would feel about that, but still, it's pretty cool to see him. Yeah, and apparently in the Japanese version of the game, like the song that plays is just the generic boss music. But in the American version, we got the the actual Night on Bald Mountain music, which is pretty cool. Yeah, but he's a pretty easy boss. Just swing your Keyblade at him. He'll be fine. Alright, Chernobog, calm down. Yeah, I don't think his appearance in Dream Drop Distance was nearly as cool as this. Mainly because he actually, like, you defeat him in like 3 hits. It's kind of a little bit lame, to be perfectly honest. Like, even this is a lot more fun. And a lot more extravagant, I feel. But whatever. Yeah, I love that there's just no explanation for him. He's just there. I mean, we do find out later that Fantasia is a world, essentially. So I guess he just came from there, but he survived because he's Satan, essentially. But I love that he just pops in, you fight him, and then he just vanishes. No explanation, no background, and for some reason you learn Super Glide. I don't really know why. Yeah, it's just a faster glide, essentially. There's really not much purpose to it. And he was standing where we need to go. That's pretty convenient. Yeah, I'm not really sure why I can fly here. I don't know. Because you're only supposed to be able to fly in Neverland. Well. Who knows? Who cares? Now here you can kind of see, like, the ruins of, like, the Enchanted Dominion, sort of. Well, you know, retroactively. What that world would be in Dwarf Woodlands. But it's still kind of teeny tiny and not very exciting looking. I suppose this is supposed to be Cinderella's world, but I don't really see any Cinderella type stuff. I don't know. Castle of Dreams. Here we go. This is the the last room before the final, or the last room before the save point to the final boss. Once again, I fast forward, and yeah, here's where I discover, oh shit, gravity is actually kind of useful. Or at least when Donald does it, but when I do it, it doesn't seem to do jack shit. I mean, I know my Keyblade isn't exactly the most MP-oriented one, but for God's sake, really? Yeah. And now it's just a gauntlet of fighting a whole bunch of Heartless. Excitement. Yeah, again, like, this world really isn't too exciting. Aside from Chernobog and the last boss, it's really, there's not too much to say. I mean, there's not even that very many there's only like 2 new Heartless, really. These invisible guys, and then these like 6 winged angel guys that appear too. The name of which I can't quite remember. But yeah, they're like the only Heartless that are unique to this world. Or at least they get kind of properly introduced here. They actually do appear in the Olympus Coliseum in the Hades Cup. But I didn't have to show the random Heartless in that cup, so you didn't know. Well, then again, this is a 15-year-old game, so I assume everyone watching already knows this. Yeah, Trinity. I don't like how long the Trinity cutscene takes. You know, like the attack little cutscene takes, but it is pretty goddamn powerful. So I suppose that makes it worth it. Oh yeah, and I guess I should mention, Gale is a synthesis material. In case that wasn't entirely obvious. But again, 15... Well, actually, was there Gale in the original version? I don't remember. Whatever. Or I don't know why it would only be introduced in the Final Mix version, so there we go. Is that it? I think that was it. No. One more wave. Lord have mercy. Have mercy on this sinner. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but okay. Oh yeah, I should mention I am going to absolutely cheese the Sephiroth and Unknown fights. I'm just gonna completely cheese those too. So sorry if you don't like that, but that's just how it's gonna be. There we go. I can go inside this awkwardly shaped doorway. And then I'm gonna fight the optional bosses. I think I'm starting with Kurt Ziza, I think. Let's see. Yep, there we go, Kurt. Now, apparently, Kurt Ziza was named that way because of some kind of contest. I'm not sure what the contest like entailed, but the winner got to have a Heartless boss named after them, and someone named Kurt Ziza won. Apparently, that is their real name. I didn't know Ziza was even an actual last name. Yeah, you will notice that throughout these optional bosses, the cutscenes don't have any dialogue attached to them. And the fight before the cutscene before the unknown fight does have dialogue, but it's all just archive audio. Like Sora's dialogue is mostly taken from like his encounter with you know, that cloaked figure and on Destiny Islands. And like, yeah, Goofy does that and Sam saying that, like, I swear I'm pretty sure he said that in like Traverse Town. Like, I know he said that at some other point in the game. Like that exact and Sam. You know, and then of course the unknown doesn't actually speak with, you know, audio. You can't actually hear him speak, so he doesn't get a voice actor. Yeah, so oh yeah, I kind of should probably talk about Kurt a bit more. From what I recall, you cannot use magic while he has those 2 orbs in his hands, like that sort of thing. But here it's kind of the reverse. This little shield here, you have to use magic to destroy it. You can't use your Keyblade. I'm like 99% sure. And apparently Gravity, or Graviga, is the most useful version of the spell. Or the most useful spell for you to use, rather. Yeah, like, one of the few times where magic is really essential to this game, let's be honest here. Aside from Cure, of course. Like, this is like the only time where offensive magic is a necessity. The only other time is the Phantom, which will be coming up after this, for obvious reasons. Yeah, he doesn't hold. I got away from the hold still because, you know, Graviga is a bit of a slow spell, so I can't just spam it because half the time it'll just miss. There we go. Yeah, I kind of forgot, but you actually do get answer reports from fighting some other optional bosses. I could have sworn that the only one you got was from the Unknown, like the only one exclusive to like the Final Mix optional bosses. Or I guess no, actually the optional bosses appeared in the 4 optional bosses: Kurt, Dice Titan, the Phantom, Sephiroth. They all appeared in the original version in America, but they were added to the Final Mix version in Japan, along with the Unknown. There we go. That's how it goes. Yeah, like you see that little energy field around Sora. That means they cannot use magic, and also because the magic icon is completely blacked out. Yeah, I kind of like this guy's design. He's, you know, very like Arabian, I guess. Kind of reminds me of like a Hindu god because of all his limbs, but yeah, I know that's not exactly exclusive to that religion. I mean, they have some funky looking gods. that just reminds me of Drawn Together. Whenever I think of Hindu gods, I always remember this one scene where Captain Hero's buying guns from a vending machine. And, they're just piling out. He's like, he's like laughing maniacally, like, yeah, soon I'll have more arms than the wackiest god of all of India. It just cracks me up whenever I think about it. That was a good show. Very edgy, but in kind of a classy way. It's kind of hard to explain. I don't know. It's not like Family Guy, that kind of brand of edginess. It's kind of hard to explain. Or maybe just the jokes are just better despite being edgy. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of wish that show didn't, like, stop. Oh well. More arms than the wackiest god of all of India. Because, man, they do have some very extreme looking gods there. Like, there's some that have like 100 or like 1,000 faces or heads. It's just, like, if you see pictures of them, they're very unusual. Yeah, I decided to just summon Tinkerbell because I think I was running low on items. Yeah, I actually found out Tinkerbell actually is temporary. I could have sworn that she lasted for however long a fight does, but she just doesn't have like a bar, like an MP bar, like Bambi or Simba has. So you just never really know when she's gonna decide to fuck off. That's kind of the problem. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned that Kurt does drop a whole bunch of MP orbs while he's flying around like this. So, you know, while it's a good idea to bring some elixirs, it's not 100% necessary. Because he'll, you know, help you out here. And also, thankfully, this magical shield here doesn't have too much HP. That would be a pain in the ass if it did. So yeah, I kind of do like the... I guess you could call these super... I think like the term for like bosses like this in the Final Fantasy games are super bosses, I think. I'm not sure. I think maybe only Sephiroth or the Unknown actually constitutes as a super boss. I'm not really sure. Well, then again, this guy is way harder than any boss I fought so far. That's for damn sure. But he is no match for me. There he goes. Oh no, poor Kurt. I knew him well. Actually, I didn't really know him that well, but hey, whatever. God, the most dramatic. Could he be any more dramatic with his death? Just die already, man. Oh, that was fun. Why does he have giant holes in his swords? I don't know. That's why I asked. Zantetsuken. I think that's like the attack where you do that kind of anime sword thing where you like slash the enemy and then they pause and then die. And here's the Phantom, the other boss that really heavily relies on you using offensive magic. Yeah, pretty much the only one aside from Kurt, honestly. He's a lot less intimidating than he seems. Yeah, and also I use Oathkeeper because it gives me a bit of an MP boost. Yeah, he's on paper he seems really hard, but he actually isn't that bad. He really only, for one thing, he has about 3 attacks. Like right away he casts Doom on one of your companions, but if you stop the clock, the timer pauses. Now with what Doom is, basically, if the timer reaches 0, that partner dies. They do not, you cannot resurrect them in any way during this fight. They're just out forever. Now that's not too much of a problem, but the thing is, he'll do it to both your partners, and then he'll do it to you. And then if the timer runs out for you, then it's game over. So you gotta keep your companions from dying so you don't get doomed, basically. Yeah, and also he does a slash attack, which is pretty easy to dodge if you keep moving around. See, like there. And then also he does that one attack where I was hiding in the corner. He basically does like a homing attack, but if you hide on the the clock corner like that, it'll never hit you. And then I should actually explain how to hurt this guy. Well, it's kind of, you could probably catch on, and also he's a a decade-old boss, so there we go. But basically he has this little heart that appears inside his cloak, which will turn to 4 colors. Depending on what will be used to. Yeah, that's that homing attack. If you just hide in that corner, it will never hit you. Anyways, all color-coded. For red, use fire. For yellow, thunder. Blue, blizzard. And then white is keyblade, basically. Just blunt attacks. And that's really all there is to it. Then the heart will disappear for a bit, and then it'll come back, and then you can start the whole process over. It really isn't too bad. It's not that. It's a lot less difficult than it seems. They don't seem that difficult, really. Yeah, and also, and of course, keep using stop on the clock hands periodically. As far as I'm aware, like if you stop on on something that's already stopped, it'll like reset the stop counter. As far as I'm aware, it sure seemed to be that way, but I'm not 100% positive. But it seemed to work, so yeah. So just do that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and the fight's very repetitive, so I decided to do a bit more, a bit of fast forwarding here. Because he's already showed off every trick he has. He really only has the 3 attacks: Claw Swipe, Doom, and then that homing attack, which is very easy to dodge. Yeah, I like his design though. He actually looks kind of cool. Simplistic, but kind of cool. Looks like the ghost of Christmas Future is fucking pissed. I mean, it isn't, wait, Was the Christmas Carol, was that in London? I don't remember. I mean, I know it's somewhere in England, but I don't remember if it was in London specifically. Ah, well, close enough. That's my official headcanon. He is the Ghost of Christmas Future that's just very pissed off. Or I suppose the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come is the more appropriate title. I think that's how it is in the book. I don't think I've ever actually read the original novel. I've seen a whole bunch of variations of it, though. That Disney version that came out a couple years ago. How long ago did it come out? It feels like it was only like 3 or 4, but chances are it came out like 6 years ago. But the one with Jim Carrey is surprisingly pretty decent, honestly. Yeah, the face thing is kind of uncanny, but it's kind of worth the watch if you really love Christmas carols, you know. But enough about that. This guy's almost dead. Yeah, I think in the original version he was like all white or all black or something. I don't remember which one. One of those two. Yeah, I do like the recolors that the Final Mix have. Most of them are pretty cool. I like the Trickmaster is the only one that I really don't like. I don't think Kurt got recolored. No, I think that's the color he always had. Let's see. Kurt Ziza. Yeah, I don't think he got a recolor. No, doesn't seem to be. Ah, well. And let's see, let's check the Phantom was like black and with a little bit of blue near the edge of his cloak in the original version. Yeah, but next now we get Stopka, which is very useful for that green mushroom in the deep jungle. And then now I'm gonna go to the these doors will sometimes open, like depending on what time it is on Big Ben, and you can get some items out of it. I was just checking to see if any of them were open, but sadly not. Yep, now we get to fight the most tedious boss in this game, the Ice Titan. I do a whole lot of fast forwarding here because he is just a pain. Yeah, again, I really hope we get to fight all 5 Titans in Kingdom Hearts 3. Like at this point, there's just no excuse, man. It's PS4. They've had the time. They have the large system for a whole lot of complex stuff in there. They can do it. So the way this guy works is you can't hit. He's obviously way too high up to actually hit with your Keyblade. So you gotta deflect these icicles back at him, which sometimes work, sometimes don't. Seems to be almost kind of random. If you hit him with enough, I'm not sure on the exact number, he'll get stunned and then kind of take a kneel, and then you'll be able to whack him in the face. And as the fight progresses, he'll start stacking up more attacks to use on you. Yeah, I do a whole lot of blocking too early in this fight. See, like there. I kind of overestimate how fast these things go. Yeah, but as the fight progresses, he'll just keep using more and more attacks. Most notably, one where he drops like a giant ice cube on your head. Because like near the end of the fight, like he'll start dropping those ice cubes every single time he takes a step. It gets very chaotic near the end. But it's not hard. It's just kind of tedious. That's really it. Very tedious, but not really difficult, I wouldn't say. Of course, the thing is, you can get hit very easily. So I don't use... Well, Fire Gun's kind of useless, so I don't use it for that one reason. And because also I just need to save up for cures, Yeah, and unfortunately, he doesn't stay down for very long. So you really gotta just... you really need a very strength-heavy Keyblade. But see, like, it gets very chaotic later on. You'll see. Even in fast motion, it's easy to see just how chaotic it is. I think like every time he takes a kneel, he'll start to throw out like a new attack or an attack pattern. It seems that way at least. But God, look at this! Like this guy was so much easier, or will be so much easier in Birth by Sleep. I guess he got really pissed after getting beat up by Aqua. So he's like, "Oh man, I lost to a human. Oh man, I really gotta step it up." Yeah, but again, I really do hope we get to see the other 3 Titans in Kingdom Hearts 3. I mean, we're at least getting the Rock Titan. I know that much. We've seen him in the previews, and he seems to be a lot more. He seems to be a lot tougher than he was in this game. That's for damn sure. He is a goddamn pushover. Seriously, it's kind of pathetic, especially considering this guy's supposed to be more powerful than like Zeus, you know, and Hades apparently. Yeah, there's really not too much to say. Like, blocking icicles, like, whenever I looked up tactics for this guy, and icicle blocking and deflecting seems to be the most prevalent tactic. Not even using fire spells. You know, and that's, you know, from other people aside from me who just don't like to use magic and find it completely worthless. I mean, if you like to use magic, you know, kudos to you, but I just don't. You know, unless it's cure spells. And, you know, against like the Phantom and Kurt Zizo, where it's kind of a necessity. Yeah, thankfully you get 50 tech points for every icicle deflected, which is kind of nice. Kind of makes it worthwhile to get all those tech points. Of course, you could just fight that Rock Titan. You could like reach that Rock Titan again in the time it takes you to beat this guy. You know, especially because in the Hades Cup you can start from various seas as you go along. So you can start from after the Hades fight and go fight the Rock Titan and, you know, get a whole lot more experience points from him than you get from this guy in the time it takes. I think one more kneel after this and then he'll be gone. Yeah, see now every time he takes a step, you know, you might need to slow the video down a bit to see, but every time he takes a step, he drops an icicle on me. There we go, now we're almost done. I think... Yep, it should just be another. Yeah, you'll be able to see a bit more of his. Yeah, that's an instant freeze right there. There we go. Whew. Man, just watching that was exhausting. Yeah, it was not fun to do, I can tell you that much. And what's even less fun will be the Sephiroth battle. Oh, jeez. That is a bit of a pain, but thankfully I kind of, as I mentioned before, I cheese it. Oh no! Wait a minute. Huh. Hey now, how'd that happen? Whoa, Sora, jeez, calm down. Have a little mercy. Loser. Yeah, I love that. After that big epic fight. Yeah, take that. Yeah. And there's a Diamond Dust Keyblade, which is very exceptional with its MP, but its, you know, strength is very low. Yeah, see, 12 MP. That's pretty damn good. Yeah, so you might want to fight the Ice Titan and then, like, the Phantom, maybe, if you have trouble with that. And use a Diamond Dust Keyblade. And there we go, Sephiroth. Now, before the fight begins, I'll just say he is voiced by Lance Bass, who you may recognize as, you know, one of the singers for NSYNC. They're not around anymore, are they? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't keep track of that kind of shit. I kind of wonder why they went out of their way to hire him, considering this guy the only time this guy has like voiced dialogue is like boss banter, basically. Like before he uses an attack, he'll, you know, say like a taunt or something. Like, in total, he says, like, maybe 30 words. So I kind of wonder what the point was. And most of it is drowned out by the epic battle music anyway. You know, which is a remix of the One Wing... It's like an orchestra version of the One Wing Angel theme. Now, the one thing you want to do with this guy... Strike rate. Yeah, I do kind of, like, try to fight him a bit more fairly. At first, I kind of... Well, I mean, I was going to use strike rate the entire time, but I kind of wanted to, you know, fight him normally, at least for a couple seconds. But then I decided, fuck it, strike rate time. See, the thing about strike rate is, it's just an unbroken string of invincibility frames. You cannot get hurt while you're doing this. With the exception of his, what's the name of the attack called? You'll see it, though. It's, God, I forgot what the name of the attack was, and now it's going to bother me. Anyway, it's an attack that basically gets your HP down to 1 and drains you entirely of your MP. I'm going to look it up. It's kind of bothering me what it's called. Let's see here. Let's see. KH Wiki. Heartless Angel. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I think you just said it. I was looking away from my video, so I didn't see. Now the thing here, you can stop his Heartless Angel attack though if you actually hit him with a Strike Raid. Yeah, but that's just the thing though. With Strike Raid, you're entirely invincible, and you can kind of home in on him if you Z-target. If you target him. Of course, if he runs around like that, it's a bit harder. And also, if he attacks you near the end of your of the Strike Raid, you'll not be able to hit him in time. But if you have elixirs, you can just instantly just use that to get away from him hitting you for the 1 HP you have left. Because that Leaf Bracer, I think that's what the ability is called, where you you can't get hit while you're curing yourself. It does not apply to items. So even if you have that ability equipped, you can still get hit while you're using elixirs or potions or ethers or whatever. Yeah, so aside from that Heartless Angel attack, it's really not. It really just makes this guy look like a fucking punk. I love it because he's just like swinging his sword around, doing all this teleportation shit, and Sora's just kind of standing there using his magic. Or not using his magic, just throwing his Keyblade around like a fucking idiot. I love it. Yeah, I probably could have used one more strike. I should have used one more strike right there, but whatever. Yeah, like one thing I was trying to do was wait for him to use his Heartless Angel attack before I strike rated him. Just so that, because he won't like use it like 2 times in a row, not that I've ever seen. So just kind of doing it here just so so he just won't use it while I'm in the middle of a Strike Raid. Because I don't think I've ever seen him use it like twice in a row. Yet also Strike Raid just serves as a nice way to abuse invincibility frames. Because obviously, no matter what kind of complicated attack he's doing, you're chock full of invincibility frames, so it just doesn't matter. Now you may be saying to yourself, hey, this is exceedingly cheap, why would you do this? Because that's just the way I want to play, fuck you. No, but seriously though, like if you get bothered by how other people play video games, then that's on you. Because it's a single player game, it's not affecting anybody. If you want to see how to beat this guy without using Strike Raid, there's probably like 50 videos of it on YouTube. If you want to see someone go out of the way to handicap themselves, then you can go find that somewhere else, not here. Yeah, there are actually people that get offended by how other people play video games. It is very sad. Like I've seen people like in the comment section going like, I would never throw away my dignity and fight a boss this way. Like, wow, you beat a boss the way you beat a video game boss by handicapping yourself. Way to go, partner. Like, yeah, good for you, but that doesn't mean other people should have to do it the same way you do, Like, basically, I consider everything, in these playthroughs, I consider everything fair game, with the exception of actually using, like, a Game Shark or other hacking device. Like, aside from that, I consider everything fair game. Cheap tactic like this, glitches, exploits, everything's fair, except for Game Shark and Action Replay, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I got you, Sephiroth. I got your Keyblade with your name on it, right here. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of hard to hear Lance Bass, but from what I'm able to, make out, he does a pretty good job. Considering he's freaking NSYNC. I don't know. I remember my sisters loved NSYNC, but I of course did not. Back where they, when they were relevant. Yeah, and apparently Sephiroth is like the manifestation of the darkness in Cloud's heart for some reason. Doesn't that technically make him a Heartless? I don't know. Oh yeah, I won. Yeah, and One Winged Angel is actually kind of a shitty Keyblade. It has very good critical hits, but look at its stats. Like, really? 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 Come on, that's just pathetic. Yeah, and then when you leave, you get this nice little cutscene. Which honestly should have been fully voiced, because it kind of takes out kind of the epicness, because you don't actually get to hear them speak. It would be nice for Lance Bass to get to talk without having a, the one-winged angel blaring in the background, Yeah, poor guy. He gets this, gets the voice actor for this game, but all his dialogue is drowned out by music, and it's just boss banter. Yeah, so like he doesn't have any connection to like Genova or anything in this series. Yeah, he's just the darkness of Cloud's heart. That's his entire identity. As far as I'm aware, I'm pretty sure that's something that Nomura said. Yeah, see, you're my darkness. Now he could, yeah, I'm a part of you. That could have been like just them like him saying you're my darkness could have been like symbolic, but no, he really is just literally Cloud's darkness. Oh, they're gonna go Super Saiyan. They're doing the rock floaty thing. They're gonna go Super Saiyan. I know it. Right? No, man, I'm never gonna get my Super Saiyan transformation, am I? I'm just gonna sit back and watch this because it's pretty cool. Yeah, but of course, unfortunately, it's a bit short. Yeah, and also, it sounds like the sound was lagging there, but it was just like that, on the TV as well, so that wasn't my fault. That was just how it was for some reason. Yeah, but of course, now, the final optional boss, the Unknown. And I'm just, we all know who it is, but I'm just gonna be coy and pretend like I don't know. Again, this is like 15-year-old, like a decade-old spoiler, but, I'm just gonna pretend like I don't know who this guy is. Yeah, I'm just gonna let you listen to the cutscene once the dialogue starts, because it is just archived, audio from earlier in the game. You're not coming in very well. You might need to, smack the TV. Oh, God. What, did he just... I'm pretty sure that guy just raped Sora's heart. I can't believe it. He raped his heart. How did he even do that? Now, here we go. Just gonna let them talk. Any second.
Who are you?
Yeah, I see that. Like, that's, like, clearly from when he encountered Xehanort Tartarus on Destiny Islands. On Destiny Islands. I mean, I guess I can understand why. Because, because they couldn't get like them to dub the.
What's that supposed to mean?
Like, especially like in the English version, like this. I think in the Japanese version they used English audio. I think, but it had like Japanese, the Japanese subtitles. I think that's how it was in the original Final Mix. Like even in Japan, it had the English audio. I think I'm not 100% positive. So I mean, it came out the same year, so I mean, Haley Joel Osment could still voice Sora, but he wouldn't want to be called in to, say 2 sentences. I mean, of course, if it's Lance Bass, he can come in to say 20 words, but not Sora's voice actor, his English voice actor. Yeah, he says a whole bunch of cryptic shit, which it becomes way more prevalent in Kingdom Hearts 2, and a little bit for Chain of Memories. Well, not quite as much, but. So yeah, we don't really know who or what this guy is. He just kind of appears and just decides, I'm gonna fight Sora. Yeah, here's where I discover that Tinkerbell will not stick with you for the entirety of the fight. She actually, she vanishes a couple minutes in. Yeah, I just could have sworn that, like, if you summon her during a boss fight, she'll just stay the whole time. I'm not really sure why I thought that. Yeah, so this guy, he goes really crazy with his... Like, he's like Sephiroth. He'll attack very fast, very strong. Or not strong as, like, the bosses in Birth by Sleep, thankfully. Or, what will be the bosses in Birth by Sleep. But, you definitely want to have Tinkerbell. She can really heal you nice and fast. But unfortunately, once she's gone, then you're kind of on your own. And the thing is, if you have a summon out, you can't use abilities. Like, I have Strike Rate equipped, and I will be using it when she's gone. But for now, I can't use it. It won't let me. But yeah, it's like with Sephiroth, he can easily beat Cheese with the strike rate. And again, if you have a problem with me using, you know, the strike rate tactic, tough toenails. Because I'm not going to go back and fight this guy out fairly. I will try to beat the Lingering Will in Kingdom Hearts 2. I am going to try to beat him sincerely, but if that doesn't work, I'm just going to use the Fenrir method. Yeah, again, if you don't like that, tough toenails. Yeah, because apparently you can just cheese him exceedingly easily with Fenrir. Of course, that means you have to beat Sephiroth, but that's not. I've beaten Sephiroth in that game. It's not too bad. Yeah, no, I definitely remember beating Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2. It's not too hard. Unless they bumped up his difficulty for Final Mix. I don't know. I haven't fought him in the Final Mix version yet. But yeah, there's not too much to say about this guy. Well, he does do this one attack where you have to, where like it'll turn your commands into like, yeah, here we go, shock release, shock release. Gotta wait till it's like it slows down and says release. Yeah, now Tinkerbell's gone, so I can use Strike Raid. But the good thing about this guy is you can very easily get away from him and dodge his attacks. Because he won't do like that instant teleport thing like with Sephiroth. So it's a bit easier to kind of get away from him and catch your breath if you need to. If you're fighting him fairly, you know. Without cheesing it like I am. Yeah, again, I just find it so funny. This guy's pulling out all these complicated moves. He's, you know, using his lightsabers. You know, he's doing this energy thing, and Sora's just kind of standing there throwing his key like a dumbass. I love it. It'll never not be amusing to me. Yeah, and this fight did drag on for a while, so I did decide I wanted to fast forward it. So, I mean, otherwise this video would be like over an hour long, and I really don't want to. I'd really try to avoid doing that when I can. You know, having like an hour-long video, both for, you know, people watching, because, you know, a lot of people don't want to watch a hour-long playthrough, and because I don't want to talk for an hour. Yeah, I'm not sure what all this is, because like this whole thing going on with him right now, because, you know, once we see this mysterious figure in a later game, he doesn't do all this kind of stuff. Like the lightsaber is like the only kind of stuff he carries over. Yeah, that's like the only stuff he carries over to later games. Oh, what the hell? Man, he just glitched the universe. How do you do that? Yeah, I think he kind of like hints at Roxas right here. Or maybe he already did that. I wasn't paying too close attention to his dialogue.
Wait, what are you?
Or maybe he does it right now. Does he? Oh no, he kind of hints. Yeah, sorry, a little tongue-tied. Yeah. So he gives you Answer Reports 13, which actually kind of hints it flat out talks about nobodies. You know, yeah. And keep in mind the Final Mix came out, you know, in late 2002. You know, the original version. So this was, this is way before Kingdom Hearts 2 actually came out. This was before Chain of Memories, I think. I'm pretty sure Chain of Memories came out like a year or two after Kingdom Hearts. Let's see. Yeah, 2004. So, yep. And now I'm going to read the Ansem reports, but I'm not, like with the Xehanort reports, I'm not going to, you know, commentate over them. I'm just gonna let you read them. Now, before I go for the next video is the last video. I'm just gonna fight Xehanort Heartless and be done with it. Now, I am going to switch over to my other file where I have the Ultima weapon. So, you know, because I wanted to show it off, but I really did not want to synthesize it again. So I'm just going to switch over to that better file just for Xehanort Heartless. Just so you know. But that's pretty much it. I'll see you next time for the finale. Yeah, see you then.